So today I have on a cap and my mask because I am reading Caps for Sale. This is the story of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. This book was written and illustrated by Esphyr Slobodkina. That's a very fun name. It's Russian, so it's a little hard to pronounce. So I'm going to leave my cap on, but since I am at home, and sometimes it's a little hard to understand me, I am going to take off my mask. If I was in public, I would not do this. If I was at the store, I would leave my mask on. But since I'm at home, I don't really need my mask right now. But we're just getting used to wearing it. We're getting used to how it feels on our face and how others look. So, Caps for Sale. I love this book. Once there was a peddler who sold caps. But he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had his own checkered cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. I have a purple cap on. Got this out of my dress up bin. It's fun to dress up sometimes. He walked up and down the street, holding himself very straight so as to not upset his caps. And as he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street, he walked down the street calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said, and he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First, he checked his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. So he has a lot of caps on his head. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. Something looks a little different. Can you guess what it is? But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. Oh my goodness, what happened to all of the other caps? He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in the back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. I wonder where they went. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? I'm gonna guess maybe his caps, but let's see. On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Look at those silly monkeys. Monkeys don't wear hats, but these monkeys do. So does this monkey. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. What do you think he said? Let's see. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking a finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back to him and said, tss, tss, tss. Let's see what he does now. This made the peddler angry. So he shook both hands at them and he said, You monkeys, you give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, tss, tss, tss. Looks like they're kind of mocking him, teasing him. Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, You monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, Tss, tss, tss. So you can stomp your feet like the peddler. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, You monkeys, you must give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, Tss, tss, tss. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap, and all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the monkeys copied him. They threw their caps down. Let's see what the peddler does. So the peddler picked up his cap and put it back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. The end. So if I was going out to try and sell this cap, I'd put my mask back on and I would say, cap for sale, 50 cents a cap. So thank you for joining me and we'll see you next time. Bye.